Hey everyone, Speak Scalper 123, and yeah, you may notice this title screen is a little bit different. It's because this is not the original NES Zelda for the console. This is something from, actually you can see it on the window, something called Zelda Classic here. So this is a series of, I guess, custom games people have made. Actually, some of them just the original as well. So I made the, no, I downloaded the thing here, decided to give it a try, and some of the default files are like the original Quest files, so I'm gonna, try this out because I have a different setup, because this is not like a, NES emulator where you can just plug it in directly to that. Here I'm using a combination of XSplit to put the video into, so I'm capturing that window, the Zelda Classic program, which you can just Google that, you can easily find that, and then Audacity for my audio. And then I'm also using Fraps, that's why I have to have the XSplit as well, because I can't record the Zelda Classic screen directly with Fraps, but I can put it into XSplit and somehow it records that, so that's kind of interesting. The controller is actually another thing as well, because I can't really play this with a keyboard, so I'm actually using like a USB adapter and, ironically, a Wii Controller Pro. Ironically, this works. Like, if you the adapter I have actually makes this work so that I can actually use my D-pad, so it makes it very convenient for me to give this a shot here. So I'm going to test this out. We're going to just start with the good old first quest here. And see, here you can just, pick your whatever quest you want to do. So it defaults to the first quest, but I'll show you some of the ones I have here. Actually, no, I won't. It's actually, there's only like 4 default quests from the program itself, and then a couple of custom ones a couple custom ones some other people gave to me, so I downloaded from the website and all that, so you'll be trying those later. So alright, so let us just start out with the good old first quest here, because I'm just giving this a test run, see if this system works here. This will be played at routine speed, no speed runs, no anything like that, so this may be pretty similar to the ones I have uploaded already, but again, this is more than just a test out this whole system, because I will be doing the there is a, not in the Nintendo official 3rd and 4th quest, but kind of a custom-made one, and those are a little more interesting to go through here. So we'll give this a whirl here. Now, a thing to note is that the original NES version ran off some rules for enemies. Like, if you kill this many enemies, you'll get like rupees and stuff. I don't think the ZC version here runs off of that. So it's just random whether you get 1s and 5s and recovery items and all that other stuff. It used to be like if you defeat it's kind of complicated to explain when you could get bombs and all that. And I'm not going to bother explaining it, because it actually is kind of complicated to explain. You can kind of look that up. So pretty much go under like any, I guess the tool-assisted speedrun website actually has a little grid with that. Kind of explains it pretty well. But again, this the ZC here does not have that, so it's just random. But no tricks here, everything's the same so far. It's when you get to like the third quest and all that, the rules start changing a little bit, and you'll see how. And again, I'm just testing it, and good thing that my D-pad works, because, you know, it'd be kind of hard to play it, because I think when I first had it set up, such that I was using my N64 controller, like the control stick, and, you know, you can't really do a two-dimension game with a 3D control stick. This doesn't work well. So here I'm now using 2D to 2D, so it's a lot easier. And again, you note the number of 5s that were dropping there, number of 5 rupees. See, there's no pattern. Before, there used to be like every, 10 enemies you defeat, you get a 5 rupees or something. So it was kind of predictable. Here, it's not predictable at all. See, another 5 right there. So, there's no way to predict in terms of rupees what you're gonna get here. So, because before it was predictable. It's like, you beat up any enemy that in that position that can give you 5 rupees, like, and, you beat 10 enemies in a row or something without getting hit. It's, again, kind of hard to explain. Again, here it's all random, so just kind of testing it out here. Again, no tricks here. This is the actual first... This should be the actual first quest here, so there shouldn't be any tricks to this. Again, when you get to like the third and fourth quest, it gets a little bit trickier. It took me a bit of time. I played through those, and they're actually pretty decent. They're actually pretty good, actually. Nice continuation of quests there. I already mapped out everything. That took me a long time to do, actually. I actually mapped out like all the rooms and the overworld and all that other stuff for convenience later on. Okay, I'm still looking for some bombs here. I'm surprised I haven't found any bombs yet. I'm like beating up everything I can find here just to get bombs. Okay, finally got some bombs there. Alright. Look, I see 2 clocks in the same room. I mean... No, I've gotten 2 bombs in the same room, but not 2 clocks. You probably don't get 2 clocks in the same room. Then I don't know if Blue Moblins can normally, in the NES version, drop clocks even. Again, there's this long, complicated grid on who gives what. I'm not gonna go into it. But I mean, some of my test runs, there are times I got like 3, 4 clocks in the same room. I mean, literally. Getting a lot of clocks here, actually. So I have to grind for money here. It's the same way I played it, and I usually play my first quest here. But here I don't have that kind of predictability that, I'm gonna get combo. Look at that, 2 5s in a row right there. Oh, another interesting thing here is that you can actually switch items on the go here. I kind of configured my controller to do that. You can do it from the ZC menu. Like, there's, a bunch of options you can set. One of them being like, joypad like settings. So it makes this very convenient. You can't do this on the NES controller because the NES controller doesn't have an L and an R button. This one you can't actually set an L and R button here. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. So again, it's just for convenience. So I don't have to go to the pause menu all the time. I probably still will do that though because it's reflex. I was wondering why I was a little short on money here is because I forgot to get those 230s. There were 230 rupee secrets that I didn't even get yet, but I'm getting so many 5s here, I think I could save one of them at the least. So again, I'm using a Wii Controller Pro for my controls here. You can actually use the control like the 360-degree stick, but obviously that's a little harder to use here, so prefer using the D-pad, which is a good thing I can use the D-pad because it just makes things a lot easier. So I can spare that other 30 rupees for later, I guess. Again, if you play the NES version, it's exactly the same thing. No tricks here. Everything appears exactly the same way. Now I may be doing like the, typical saving here because I don't know if I'm going to do this in just one big clump of a run here, like I did with the NES versions I uploaded. It's not hard, it's just, you've got to be recording for like 2 hours here. And I don't know when this thing decides, this thing has crashed on me before, so what's the point of uploading for an hour and a half only to then have the program crash on you? So I'm just gonna kind of be uploading in a routine pace. I don't know how long I'm gonna go per part here, so I'm getting a lot of money here, so I'm trying to see how much of those 30s I can save here. I mean, in the later quest, you really have to grind for money because you actually have to either buy a lot of stuff or just stuff starts costing more. Now maybe the sounds are a little bit changed, but for the most part this is pretty well preserved here. Again, after doing the classic versions, I might end up doing some of the actual custom quest that other people have created, because those obs here could be a lot more difficult, because now it's there's no limits. You can create it however you want. Whereas this first quest, of course, you're bound by the first quest. You can't make it any different than what you got here. And again, this is the way I usually do things here. You get the blue ring right off the bat here. Always nice to have that on hand. Now the enemy placements are a little different here, but other than that, again, it's, everything's about the same here. But again, locations of all the secrets, all this other stuff is exactly the same. So if you know where everything is in the NES version, this is the exact same thing. I'm just beating up everything I can find here and just see if I can find some loot here. I'm gonna try to get some money here. Okay, so, first quest here, I usually take out level 3 first, because, level 1 and level 2, not that useful. Look at that, a bunch of 5s right there. Holy smokes, the 5s are just dropping like crazy here. Now, a thing about these iron or dark nuts here, they're a lot more aggressive with blocking you. So there is a little trick you can do. I don't know if it works in the NES version, because they're not as aggressive at blocking you. Here they are, actually. So this is the way I usually battle them. You just get in a little corner and try to catch them before they turn or something like that. But again, they're very aggressive at blocking you in the ZC here. Still not that difficult to take out, with a little practice. Now I'm kind of showing off this trick right here. This little nifty trick here. Basically, you're taking advantage of kind of like that perpendicular way of, attacking. Yeah, it has to be perpendicular. You'll see this really used with blue dark nuts because, they're gonna be a lot more aggressive at blocking you. Again, the NES version, you probably can't do that, probably because of, like, the hitboxes. I haven't actually tried it with the NES version, but again, you really don't need it with the NES version. But here you probably do, and especially some of the custom quests that are created, they make rooms that you have to do it this way. Which I'll show in due time here. I don't know if I'm going to show off every room here. I actually might. Yeah, I'm going to show off every room here. This is just going to be a nice routine run here. There's no speed run or anything here. So I'll just open all the doors, waste all my keys here, because this game gives you excess keys anyway, so... And most of this information is not very useful, since I already know this whole game inside out. Again, if you played the NES version, exactly the same. But it's more just to get myself used to the ZC control scheme here. I mean, the Zelda Classic thing comes with it's like an editor, so you can kind of just, you know, play around with some of the features and you can see what you can make. And again, people have made some pretty nifty stuff here, so obviously I'm not going to play every single custom quest out there because there are too many out there. So, again, I'm going to try to explore as many rooms as possible. So that means like stuff like level 9 is going to be a pain in the butt to explore. So that's a pretty large map here. Okay, you just ran into that one. Got 3 pedals and then I just ran into the last one and get the KO right there. Alrighty. Again, so far, you know, again, this is not really too much different from how I play it. You know, like grind a lot of items and then you go from there. It's just in general a safer way to go. You know, you're just grinding for supplies. It never hurts to have a blue ring early here. Because, you know, you get a blue ring early, that's pretty much good for the whole game. So unless you're doing some challenge where you don't let yourself get the blue ring or something. Which I've done, but it's pretty difficult. But it is doable. Pretty much using up, you know, you just use up all the hundreds you got here. Since there are 3 of them in this game, you might as well. I don't know if they have this in the NES as well, like you can actually swing your sword one way but then hit the other way. I think it does. I remember doing that in the NES version. The actual NES version. Like you swing one way, but then you'll throw your sword the other way. So pick up some meat for later here. Alright, trying to see when I should stop. Oh, look at that, look at those 5s dropping there. Okay, so, I might actually just take a break right here, and then, next part we'll take on, probably a bunch of levels in the next part, like 4, 1, 2, and we'll see how far we can get in the amount of time we got. But this is, again, just kind of testing out this system of recording, and looks like, given I can play this with a D-pad, it should be pretty decent right now, so... Alright, see you guys later.